In compliance with Chapter 231 of the Open Public Meeting Act of the State of New Jersey, adequate notice have been given to all members of the governing body, the local source, and the Westfield Leader, the two newspapers designated to receive such notice. This notice is posted on the Borough Hall Bulletin Board. Let's stand for an invocation from Councilman Durkis.
And in these troubled times, we pray for the safety of our first responders, whether that be police officers, our firemen, or our rescue squad. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Here.
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 Next, we have approval of the regular session meeting for July 18th, 2017.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second, anyone?
Second.
All the council.
Yes.
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 Next, we have the approval of the work and executive session meeting on August 1st, 2017.
So moved. Second.
Motion, we have a second. Poll the council.
Abstain.
Yes.
Abstain.
Yes.
Yes.
Next, we have some resolutions. We're going to start with 90-2017. Keith?
Resolution 90-2017, our Recreation Director, Frank Masella, recommends the following refund be made due to a canceled program. Josh Jancourt's Mountainside ski trip in the amount of $192. So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Poll the council, please.
Yes.
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 Next, we have Resolution 91-2017. Wendy?
Having already approved by the 2017 budget, this resolution is allowed by law under NJSA 40A:4-87, will authorize the borough's Chief Financial Officer, Jill Good, to insert the following amounts for the listed items. 1, 2016 DOT Safe Corridor Grant, $15,161.17. 2, Volunteer Fire Assistant Grant, $3,500. 3, Watts Community Foundation, $3,000 for senior activities.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Poll the council, please.
Yes.
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 Next, we have Resolution 92-2017. Renee, you want to take that? Glenn's
Sure.
not here.
This resolution will correct an error in Resolution 30-2017, amending the effective date of salary adjustment for the court administrator from January 17th to January 1st, 2017.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Poll the council, please.
Yes.
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 Next, we have Resolution 93-2017. Bob?
Yes. Having received full payment for tax sale certificate number 15-00001 at block 3.24, lot 11.01, in the amount of $30,630.42, plus a premium of $50,100. Borough Tax Collector Jill Good recommends that the total amount be issued to the U.S. Bank Philadelphia PA for the redemption and cancellation of said certificate. So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Poll the council.
Yes.
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 Next, we have Resolution 94-2017. Wendy?
At the recommendation of the borough's tax assessor, Michael Frangella, and Borough Attorney John N. Post, with the approval of Mountainside Mayor and Council, upon the receipt of New Jersey tax court judgment, this resolution will authorize a tax appeal settlement reducing the assessed value of Block 4, Lot 17.23 at 1402 Chapel Hill for tax year 2016 shall be reduced to $237,100, and for tax year 2017, reduced to $227,100. tax year 2015 appeal will be withdrawn, and under NJSA 54:51A-8, the Freeze Act will not apply. Furthermore, a total refund in the amount of $1,825.75 will be issued to the appropriate authority.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Poll the council, please.
Yes.
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 Next, we have Resolution 95-2017.
Also at the recommendation of the Borough's Tax Assessor Michael Frangella and Borough Attorney John Post, with the approval of Mountainside Mayor and Council upon the receipt of New Jersey Tax Court judgment, this resolution will authorize a tax appeal settlement reducing the assessed value of Block 5.01, Lot 2 at 1099 Prospect Avenue for both tax years 2015 and 2016 shall be reduced to $220,200, and for tax year 2017 reduced to $205,000. For the appeal for 2014 will be withdrawn, and under NJSA 54:51A-8, the Freeze Act will apply. Furthermore, a total refund in the amount of $15,190.35 will be issued to the appropriate authority.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Poll the council.
Yes.
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 Next is Resolution 96-2017. Renee, you did such a good job on the last one. Why don't you give us this one, too?
Okay. Again, at the recommendation of the Borough's Tax Assessor Michael Frangella and Borough Attorney John Post, with the approval of Mountainside Mayor and Council upon the receipt of New Jersey Tax Court judgment, this resolution will authorize a tax appeal settlement reducing the assessed value of Block 5.03, Lot 28 at 359 Short Drive for tax year 2015 shall be reduced to $222,800, and for tax year 2016 reduced to $207,800. The 2014 appeal will be withdrawn, and under NJSA 54:51A-8, the Freeze Act shall apply. Furthermore, a total refund in the amount of $3,988.85 will be issued to the appropriate authority.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Yes.
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 Next, we have Resolution 97-2017, Bob.
Yes, having received a bid for contract 2017-6 paving improvements on Upland Road, this resolution will award the contract to Denbar Construction Incorporated, Kenilworth, New Jersey, in the amount of $209,064.86. So moved.
We have a motion, we have a second?
Second.
Poll the council, please.
Yes.
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 Next, we have a resolution for the POW and MIA Remembrance Day, which I'm going to read into the record. This is Resolution 98-2017, whereas the governing body of the Borough of Mountainside is aware that Friday, September 15th, 2017 has been declared as POW MIA Remembrance Day, and whereas all Americans everywhere owe a special debt of gratitude and a responsibility for remembering and honoring those who have given so much to make all of us free and secure in this our national homeland, and a recognition day is a fitting testament and remembrance for all of us for the sacrifices of our POW and MIA veterans. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Mountainside that it hereby declares Friday, September 15th as POW MIA Remembrance Day in the Borough of Mountainside, and urges all citizens of the Borough of Mountainside to make a special effort to give thanks and remember the sacrifices rendered to us by all of these noble sons and daughters of America. Do we have a motion on that?
Second.
No, we need
I
a
mean,
motion.
so, motion.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Poll the council, please.
Yes.
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 Next, we have ordinance 1260-2017, and seeing how we've already worn out Renee, and we seem to have left out Deanna, why don't you do that one, Deanna?
Sure. An ordinance amending ordinance 1114-2006, extending limited parking on Hickory Lane as set down in Schedule 4, subsection 7-3.6.
Okay, this is the second reading, so is there any public input? Sir, in the back?
Seeing no public present that is willing to talk voluntarily, I move that section be closed.
Motion to close the public session. All in favor?
Aye.
So closed. Poll the council, please.
Yes.
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 Since Glenn's not here, and Renee's pretty good at giving back our money to the boroughs, why don't you do bills and claims for
Okay.
us?
Be it resolved by the mayor and council of the Borough of Mountainside that the following bills of the persons named and for the amount stated below have been fully audited and found to be correct at this 15th day of August 2017. The same be paid after council's review if and when funds are available, and that the mayor, council president, administrator, and treasurer are hereby authorized and directed to sign and deliver warrants for the same in the amount of $326,908.23. So moved.
We have
Second.
a motion, I have a second. Poll the council, please.
Yes.
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 Okay, we would have public comments, I guess, now, but since there's no public, any council comments? I have a few comments tonight, actually. I understand that there has been some renewed concern about the borough's affordable housing plan, specifically with respect to some of the new developments that are underway right now. So I think it's appropriate for me to go back and give all of our residents a little history lesson as to how we got where we are today. In fact, this is the same history lesson that I gave at our reorganization meeting, but I think at this point, it's good for me to reiterate it. The borough had plans, the borough's plans for the Barnes track and other developments were rooted in two cases decided by the New Jersey Supreme Court in 1975 and 1983, setting forth what is known as the Mount Laurel Doctrine. The Mount Laurel Doctrine says that zoning ordinances that do not provide affordable housing opportunities are unconstitutional, and it requires New Jersey municipalities, including Mountainside, to zone for and take affirmative action to provide fair share affordable housing. The doctrine defines affordable housing as housing that is affordable for low and moderate income people. Developers have attempted to use this Mount Laurel doctrine by identifying municipalities that do not provide affordable houses and then bringing lawsuits to the court, setting aside their zoning ordinances as being unconstitutional. The developers then tried to build projects that have 20 to 30 and sometimes even more apartments or condos per acre, which is far more than the municipality's zoning ordinances would have permitted. The lawsuits are called Mount Laurel suits or builder's remedy. There were 3 Mount Laurel suits brought against the borough. The first Mount Laurel suit brought against the borough was brought in the early 1980s. The suit was successfully defended on the basis that the borough was fully developed and there was no vacant land in the borough on which to provide affordable housing. The Borough Planning Board adopted a master plan in 1989 that assumed that the borough was fully developed and did not provide affordable housing. After the first lawsuit in 1985, the legislature, in response to the Mount Laurel decision, created the Council on Affordable Housing, which is known as COA. to assess New Jersey's need for affordable housing, allocate the need to municipalities on a fair share basis, and renew and approve municipal housing plans that would implement the fair housing obligation. COA's approval of a plan insulated a town from receiving the approval from these Mount Laurel suits. The second Mount Laurel suit that was brought against the borough was brought by Canada Land Company in 2003. Canada Land wanted to build a high-density apartment project on vacant land on Route 22 eastbound between the Spanish Tavern and the self-storage facility. One of their concepts for the property involved two 4-story apartment buildings with a total of 132 units and a density factor of 38 units per acre. By the time the Canada Land suit was filed, COA had allocated 74 affordable units to the borough, and the governing body had realized that it would have to provide for affordable housing in Mountainside, as all towns have to do now. While the Canada Land suit was pending, the borough spent several years working with the court-appointed special master to develop a Mount Laurel COA plan a Mount Laurel compliance plan based upon COA regulations that were in effect at the time in 2005. The plan involved using the Barnes Tract as a site for a 25-unit affordable housing project for physically disabled persons that would be constructed and operated by a nonprofit corporation. The balance of the borough's allocation of 74 units would be dealt with by means of regional contribution agreements, rental credits, and other means that were available under COA regulations at that time. In 2007, Canada Land voluntarily dismissed its lawsuit, and the COA regulations on which the borough's 2000 plans were based were invalidated by the courts. Nonetheless, the borough continued to work on meeting the borough's affordable housing obligation. The work was underway on October 13th, 2011, when the Ponds at Mountainside LLC brought the third Mount Laurel suit against the borough. The court through that lawsuit approved a Mount Laurel compliance plan for the borough. By the October 13th, 2011, the courts had invalidated the COA regulations. Governor Christie had attempted to abolish COA, and municipalities in the state were left without guidance as to how their affordable housing obligations would be calculated, and without guidance as to how they could meet those obligations. Notwithstanding the chaos and confusion which prevailed when the Ponds case was filed, the borough determined that when the dust settled, it would confront even more Mount Laurel suits if it did not make a plan. Accordingly, the borough asked the assignment judge in Union County, Karen Cassidy, to appoint retired Judge Eugene Serpentelli as a special master to help the borough design a new Mount Laurel compliance plan. Before his retirement, Judge Serpentelli had authored many of the most important decisions implementing the Mount Laurel Doctrine, and he is recognized as the leading authority regarding Mount Laurel jurisprudence. The goal was that once Judge Serpentelli had approved the plan, it would be submitted to the court for approval and the judgment of compliance and repose, which would give the borough the same kind of protection that COA had been providing before it ceased functioning. Judge Serpentelli worked with the borough and the parties in the Ponds case to formulate a Mount Laurel compliance plan. By December 2013, the plan had been fully prepared and approved by Judge Serpentelli, and it was ready for a fairness hearing before Judge Cassidy. The borough's plan determined that the borough's affordable housing allocation for the period 1987 through 2018 was 123 units, and that 6 of those units were satisfied by an ARC house in the borough, so that there were 117 units to be actually dealt with. The plan anticipates that 16 affordable housing units on 3 sites that were identified in the plan, and the remaining units are provided for by an overlay zone to be constructed if, as, and when the property owners in the overlay zone determine so. The density factor incorporated into the plan is 6 units per acre with a 20% set aside. This is probably the lowest density in the whole state. Most towns, when they settle on their plan, have densities up to 20 and 30 units per acre. As a comparison, the current zoning of 20,000 square feet for a house on an acre, which is around, I think around 57,000 square feet, you could put 3 houses on them, and that's the largest zone that we have. We also have a zone where there's 15,000 square foot, so you could put 4 houses there. So the fact that we have 6 is certainly consistent with the residential character of Mountainside, unlike other towns that have been hit with extremely high density. The 16 affordable units that will be constructed are on 3 properties. The property is the one behind Brighton Gardens, which is already up and running. The Alpine property, which is on Route 22 West, which again is up and running, and the balance of the units are to be constructed on the Barnes tract. The Barnes tract is approximately 5. Let me just make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah, the Barnes tract is just about 5 acres, so that's why there's 30 units there. 6 are going to be residential. The fair housing hearing was held and advertised, and nobody lodged any objections to the plan, which is remarkable because the fair housing people are usually very well represented at these hearings. So as a result, Judge Cassidy entered an order approving our plan and remanding the case back to the planning board and the governing body for implementation. So that's how we got where we are today. The project went back to the planning board. Each of the 2 projects that have been approved were approved by the planning board, consistent with the ordinances that were mandated by the fair housing plan. To get to the Barnes tract, right now in the fair housing plan, that is slated for 30 units, 6 of which are going to be affordable. There is going to be some commercial space, probably around $6,000 or $7,000. So we're 6,000 or 7,000 square feet. So we're probably talking about 2 retail type operations. We're not sure exactly what they're going to be. Just recently, the developer of the Barnes tract was able to go under contract to purchase additional approximately 1.5 acres, and they're asking the borough to expand that redevelopment zone to include that 1.5 acres. The initial hearing on whether or not we should amend our master plan to include these additional 1.5 acres is scheduled to go before the planning board on Tuesday, August 22nd at 7:30. Anyone that has any interest in that expansion should certainly appear and have their comments known to the planning board. So we sit here today with an approved fair housing plans. We have no worry about any lawsuits. I know there's neighboring towns, especially Cranford, got hit with a very high density project. They wound up having to buy the land back from the developer for $18.5 million, and then they resold it to another developer who had agreed to put less units. I'm sure you've seen in the paper, Garwood is slated to put 300 units on North Avenue as part of a redevelopment plan, and then you have Scotch Plains, which is scheduled to build. I'm not sure how many 200 units on
10 acres.
On the Bowcraft property. Hart's Mountain is in the process of trying to get 905 units in Cranford, across the street from the new shopping center in Clark, and next to the Hyatt Hills golf course. So we have towns around us that are being, swamped with high-density projects that Mountainside does not have to worry about. Again, anyone that's interested in the expansion of that redevelopment zone, I urge them to come to the planning board meeting. I also have seen some additional concerns that were already sort of rooted out in the development process of when they did the, what was known as the ponds back then, the Alpine. We continue to get residents who want to insist that there was wetlands on that property and that we should have done something about it, that there was a flood hazard zone on that property, and we should have done something about that. Just so the public is clear, both of those things are within the jurisdiction of the state of New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, and both of those issues were addressed by the DEP in an October 11th, 2011 decision by the DEP. They were requested to do a letter of interpretation, and at that time, they determined that there was no freshwater, wetlands, and waters were not present on the property, and there was no part of the property that had any transition areas or buffers as designated in the New Jersey regulations. In addition, there was another determination in December of 2015 in which, again, the state of New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection found that there was no flood hazard area on that project. Both of those determinations were made by the state, who has the exclusive jurisdiction over those areas. In fact, there's a state statute that says that the legislature has determined that those areas are in the exclusive realm of the state of New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, and specifically in NJSA 13:9B30, it says, to this end, no municipality, including Mountainside, county, or political subdivision shall enact, subsequent to the effective date of this act, any law, ordinance, rules, or regulations regulating freshwater wetlands, and further, this act on and subsequent to the effective date shall supersede any law or ordinance regulating freshwater wetlands enacted prior to the effective date of this act. So I hope that puts to rest the continual issues that I hear rumbling around Mountainside, that there's some wetlands that somehow Mountainside didn't protect, and there's a flood hazard area that somehow we didn't move to regulate. It's not within our, not only did they not find that, but even if they did, it's not within our jurisdiction. If anyone has any questions about what I've talked about tonight, you can contact me through the borough clerk. I'll be glad to personally answer any of your questions. Again, I would remind you that there is a meeting on Tuesday night before the planning board, and I urge anyone that has any comments or concerns to appear at that meeting. Okay, I said enough tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to go into executive session tonight. So whereas the Public Meeting Act of the State of New Jersey permits the public to be excluded from certain matters to be discussed by the governing body, and whereas the mayor and council desire to discuss litigation, contracts, and personnel, which are matters where the exclusion of the public is permitted, and whereas a public disclosure of the results of this discussion will be made as soon as the matters discussed have been resolved by the governing body of the Borough of Mountainside. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of the Borough of Mountainside that the aforesaid matters shall be discussed in closed session upon adoption of this resolution. So we need a motion to go into executive.
So moved.
Jim, just one more thing before we go out of public. Did you put that history of the mountain law, is that going to be on the website? Or is it
Up on the website as
it's up on the website now? So anyone that wants to read what I went through tonight, it is on our website for you to...
you go to the engineering tab, go down on the engineering tab, on the front page of engineering. It's down at the bottom of it, and it says the Barnes Track / Mount Laurel Doctrine.
Okay, so if anybody wants to take a look at that, it is on the website. Okay, it's adjourned for executive session.